Smartphone hardware has officially hit a wall, and the proof isn't just in the endless wave of AI marketing fluff we're being fed every single year. It is in the fact that to make the upcoming Galaxy S27 Ultra truly exciting, Samsung is digging up a feature it abandoned nearly a decade ago. But this sudden rush of nostalgia isn't because they woke up and decided to fix your smartphone photos on their own. It is because Apple is reportedly building the exact same thing, and if there is one thing Samsung absolutely cannot stand, it is watching Apple get massive praise for a feature that Samsung actually invented first. The feature in question is a physical variable aperture, something tech nerds might remember from all the way back on the Galaxy S9 in 2018. If you are unfamiliar with how this works, it acts just like a real professional camera lens, physically opening and closing to control how much light hits the sensor. A wider opening lets in massive amounts of light for flawless night shots, while a tighter opening handles bright daylight and keeps your entire scene sharp. Back in the day, smartphone sensors were simply too tiny for this to make a noticeable difference, so Samsung killed it off. But today, with massive modern sensors, a physical aperture is a complete game changer. It means true optical depth of field instead of fake AI portrait blur, cleaner highlights, and unparalleled low-light performance. The irony here is beautiful. Apple is planning to introduce this mechanical lens tech on its upcoming Pro models, which essentially means Apple is copying an old Samsung idea, forcing Samsung to copy Apple's timeline just to protect its image. But to truly win this petty game of corporate chess, Samsung cannot just reuse its old 2018 blueprints. Rival brands like Xiaomi have already mastered continuous variable aperture, letting the lens adjust seamlessly to any lighting condition. If Samsung comes to the table with a basic, cheap system that only switches between two settings, it will feel instantly outdated the moment it hits shelves. Thankfully, the camera overhaul does not stop at the lens mechanics. Word from the supply chain suggests the S27 Ultra is completely reimagining how a flagship phone looks and shoots. First, the face of the device is getting a dramatic visual cleanup. Samsung has developed an incredibly tiny 2.5mm front camera cutout, drastically shrinking that annoying punch hole block in your display to maximize screen real estate. Turn the phone over, and you might be shocked to find only 3 camera rings instead of 4. Samsung is reportedly confident enough in its next-generation main sensor that it is completely killing off the dedicated 3x telephoto lens, banking on a massive sensor crop to handle mid-range zoom. While losing a physical lens sounds scary, if the sensor crop can cleanly bridge the gap between 1x and 5x zoom, it frees up internal space for what really matters. Even the placement of these cameras might shift to a horizontal layout, finally fixing the frustrating issue where the current vertical lenses interfere with MagSafe-style magnetic accessories. Combined with advanced next-generation HDR processing, this is shaping up to be the most radical hardware leap the Ultra line has seen in generations. But engineering a powerhouse like this creates a massive financial problem, especially with global component prices skyrocketing. To avoid forcing a brutal price hike onto the consumer, Samsung is reportedly making a controversial compromise. They are looking to source cheaper OLED displays from third-party manufacturers like BOE to use on the standard baseline models. Fortunately, if you are looking at the Ultra, your screen is safe, as the premium models will strictly retain Samsung's own top-tier displays. It is a calculated risk, but a necessary one to keep the flagship pricing from spiraling completely out of control. Ultimately, the S27 Ultra proves that the future of smartphones isn't about inventing gimmicks from scratch, but about taking the brilliant ideas of the past and finally giving them the massive hardware power they always deserved. Which of these upgrades do you think will actually change how you use your phone daily? The shrinking screen cutout or the mechanical camera lens? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit that subscribe button if you want to stay ahead of the tech curve, and I will see you in the next one.